Once upon a time, there was a boy named Archie who lived in a small town with his parents, his elder brother Mike, and his sister Hannah. His father worked hard at a firm, and his mother was a housewife who lovingly managed their home. Archie had an elder brother, Mike, who was calm and sensible, and a sister named Hannah, who always looked out for him. But Archie, his family was worried about his careless habit of talking to strangers. He acted like he had known them for years. His parents and siblings warned him many times. Archie just shrugged and ignored it with a smile. His best friend, Jack, disliked this too.
"One day, this will get you into trouble,"
Jack would say. But Archie never seemed to care. He was just focused on having fun. Early in the morning, Mrs. John woke up and got out of bed. She went to the kids' room, where they were still fast asleep. Gently patting their hair, she said,
"Mike, Hannah, it's time to wake up."
Mike stirred first, blinking his eyes.
"Morning, Mom,"
he mumbled sleepily.
"Come on, sleepyhead,"
she said, smiling as she gave Hannah a soft tap.
5 more minutes. Mom,
Hannah groaned. After this, she went to the kitchen. She placed the kettle on the stove, poured in water, and turned on the burner. She added 8 tablespoons of tea leaves, a full cup of milk, and 10 teaspoons of sugar, stirring it as it cooked. On another burner, she heated a pan, added a little oil, and toasted the bread. She cracked eggs into the pan, frying them just right, then set them aside one by one. She poured a full cup of cereal into a bowl, added milk and honey, and set it on the table. She poured the tea into 5 cups and set them on the table. Then, she grabbed the butter, jam, and fresh cream from the fridge, placing them on the table. Mr. John came into the kitchen, dressed and ready for work. Mike and Hannah soon followed.
"Archie!"
Mrs. John called. After a moment, Archie appeared. Everyone took their seats and began their breakfast, talking as they ate. After breakfast, Mr. John went to his room to grab his mobile and laptop, while the kids hurried to pack their bags. In the kitchen, Mrs. John made lunch boxes with toast and jam.
"I will buy something from the school canteen,"
Archie protested. but his mom shook her head.
This is much healthier for you,
she replied, handing him his lunchbox. After saying goodbye to their parents, the kids walked to school, which was just a short distance away. As soon as they entered the school grounds, Archie saw Daniel.
Hi! Daniel!
Archie called.
Hey, Archie. Are you ready for the math test?
Daniel asked.
I studied hard all day. How about you?
Archie replied.
Same here,
Daniel said. When the test began in the third period, they focused and did their best. During break, they sat together, opened their tiffins, and while eating, talked about the test.
How did the test?
Archie asked.
I think I got them right. But I was nervous,
Daniel replied.
How was your test?
Daniel asked.
Same,
Archie said, smiling. After school, they walked out together, still busy talking about the test. As they walked towards their homes, Daniel waved goodbye and turned in the other direction. But when he looked back, he saw Archie talking to a stranger. Worried, Daniel rushed back and asked,
What's going on?
Archie shrugged.
this uncle asked for directions. I think I can guide him.
Daniel grabbed his hand tightly and said to the stranger,
No. We don't know this area well. We can't go without our parents' permission.
Pulling Archie away, Daniel said,
Come on. No more talking. Let's go straight home before get into trouble.
Archie protested, but Daniel didn't listen. With a sigh, Archie turned and headed home. One day in class, a classmate named Tim proudly said he had bought an iPod. Archie turned to Daniel.
I'm going to save up for one too.
That evening, in the lounge, while Mike and Hannah worked on their homework, Archie grabbed a cardboard box, scissors, and glue, then started making a money box. He carefully cut the box, glued the edges together, and decorated it with colorful markers.
I'm going to start saving for my iPod,
he announced to his mom and dad, who were sipping coffee nearby. His mom smiled.
That's a great idea, Archie.
Dad raised his mug with a smile.
Good luck, son.
Archie dropped his first coins into the box, excited to begin. One weekend, Uncle Sam, Dad's brother, dropped Jack off at their house. Jack was Archie's age, and they were both excited to spend time together. After some fun, Archie showed Jack his money box and said. In the evening, they went to the stationery shop, where colorful pens, shiny notebooks, and sparkling markers were beautifully displayed on the shelves. They bought some pens, notebooks, and markers. After paying, Archie walked out with the bags, but Jack stayed behind to ask about some prices. When Jack came out, he saw Archie talking to a stranger, who offered him a chocolate. Before Archie could take it, Jack quickly reached out, grabbed the chocolate, and returned it, saying,
Sorry, Uncle, but we can't take things from strangers without our parents' permission.
He pulled Archie away and scolded.
Don't do that again.
They walked home. One evening, Archie asked Hannah and Mike,
Can you compensate for my iPod?
Hannah nodded.
Sure. If you clean my room for a week.
Mike added,
You have to help me clean the garage.
Archie complained.
You are giving me jobs.
Mom, who was reading a magazine nearby, smiled and said,
It's a good lesson, Archie. You will learn that hard work is needed to get something.
Archie spent the next few days cleaning Hannah's room. He neatly arranged her dresses in the cupboard, dusted the shelves, and swept and mopped the floor until it was sparkling clean. He also swept the garage floor, organized the tools, and made sure everything was in its place. When he finished, Hannah and Mike gave him the money they had promised. Archie smiled as he put it in his money box. He was happy to see his hard work paying off. One night at dinner, Dad smiled and said,
I got a promotion.
Everyone cheered, and Mom said,
Let's invite Sam's family for dinner tomorrow.
Archie smiled.
And I have saved enough to buy my iPod.
Wow. That's amazing.
Mom said proudly.
Great job, Archie.
Dad smiled.
You have worked hard for it.
Feeling excited, Archie went to his room and called Jack.
I finally saved enough for the iPod. You will see it tomorrow.
Jack replied.
Wow. That's great.
The next day, Mom was busy in the kitchen preparing a feast for dinner. She was making roast chicken, vegetable rice, mashed potatoes, garlic bread, a fresh green salad, creamy pasta salad, and some crispy spring rolls. There was also a cheesy stuffed mushrooms and a large fruit platter. For dessert, there was a delicious fruit trifle, chocolate cake, and vanilla ice cream topped with caramel sauce. Archie walked in and asked,
Mom, can I help?
Mom smiled and said,
Yes. I need more fruits for the trifle and the platter.
Of course. I'm buying my iPod today too. But I will get the fruits first.
Archie replied. He went to his room, took the money from his money box, put it in his wallet, and slipped it into his pocket. Mom gave him the money, and he placed that in his shirt pocket before heading out. Archie walked to the fruit stall, carefully picking out some fruits. An uncle approached him and said,
You are a good boy, helping your mom.
Archie smiled and replied,
I saved up money to buy an iPod. I was going to buy it, but Mom said to buy the fruits first, then go.
The uncle nodded and asked,
Can you help me pick some fruits too?
Archie agreed, but while he wasn't looking, the man skillfully slipped his purse into his pocket. The uncle quickly said,
Oh, I forgot to buy chocolate for my son. I will be right back.
And left. Archie finished his shopping, returned home, placed the bags in the kitchen, and left. Archie reached the shop and asked the salesman for the iPod. When he put his hand in his pocket for his purse, his face went pale, his purse was gone.
My purse is in here. Someone must have stolen it,
he said, shocked.
I will come back later,
he mumbled. He walked home with his head down. Archie reached home, walked to his room, and sat on his bed, crying. Hannah told Mom.
Archie came back empty-handed. Something's wrong.
Mom went to his room and sat beside him.
What happened?
She asked. Archie told her everything, his voice shaking.
I was tricked by a stranger. He stole my purse.
Mom sighed deeply.
It's your fault, Archie. You trusted a stranger and were careless. He took advantage of you. But be careful in life from now on.
Moral: trust your family and be careful with strangers.